Guys, hey, it's me, Spiritual Awakening Babe, and I want to talk to you guys about the great, biggest shift that we're going through right now. I know most of you guys are aware of it, most of you guys are excited about it, but I wanted to share just some general tips about this big conjunction that we're going through, how all of these amazing planets are shifting, and how we are moving into Aquarius, right? Into the times of the air sign, right? So much amazing, crazy shit is going to be happening. It already has been happening, right? So let me know if you guys are here live, or if you're watching the replay, say I'm watching the replay. In this video, I'm going to explain some of the things that I feel we're shifting into, where I feel your role is, and then just some precautions for today. Some precautions for today. Hey, Pimmy. Hey, Paula. Hi, guys, on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, too. Spiritual Awakening Babe on YouTube. Hey, Dee. I always get lots of viewers on these. Hey, Pam. Good morning. I'm sure you've talked to your community about all of this amazingness as well. And I am not an astrologer, right? I am a novice, right? I am more into the movement of the mind and the frequency and the energy. But the planets do all those things too, right? We're all interconnected. So much amazing stuff is happening right now. It's almost like one of the things that I watch, I do a lot of studying, a lot of reading, even though, like I said, I'm a novice. One of the interesting things is that the sun, right? Hey, Sherry, I'm glad you're here too. My crew, right? The sun basically almost seems as though it's going backwards right now, right? Like almost like a Mercury retrograde. And so then they say, like, the sun passes away, like in the Bible or religion, for 3 days and then comes back alive, right? Hey, it's Nikki on YouTube. So essentially, the sun, like all you Leos out there are probably losing your mind. The sun kind of like is pausing, I guess, if you will, right now. And interestingly enough, something else that I have been read, I'm watching videos and all this, we're supposed to be able to see some crazy celestial shit in the stars right now, right? Not just Jupiter and Saturn that are coming really close together and that are in alignment for the first time in hundreds of years, right? And then we're shifting into this air sign for like hundreds of more years, right? So shit is going to be changing. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Atlantis. How many of you guys are Atlanteans or are familiar with Atlantis or were in Atlantis or fascinated by Atlantis? So in the times of Atlantis, right, we were able to communicate with telepathy. Is that how you say it really fast? Telepathy, you know, much easier. We communicated just with thought. And that's where I really see us coming into this, because what? The air sign, Geminis, how many are you guys air sign? If you have air signs in your chart, we're communicators, right? So how many of you guys have been going through your spiritual awakening? Duh, you guys are all watching me. You're watching Spiritual Awakening, babe. So you're here for a reason. So you're suspicious about this part. So you guys have all been being called to this because this is your natural essence. And now this air movement, I feel, is going to really escalate. So let's talk about communication right now. And this is the part, like, if you guys need to fall off, don't fall off till after I share this part. This part, I feel like, is really super important because we're talking about communication, right? And we're talking about intuition. We're talking about inner knowledge. And we're also talking about technology here in a minute. But it is so fucking important for you to be in connection with your own inner guidance system right now, because there's all this communication that is flying out of devices, TVs, Facebook, you know, your phones. And a lot of it's fake, right? A lot of it's false. And so you're being called. Spirit is asking you, and this is why I was pushing the Awaken program a lot, like a couple months ago, because it's so important for you guys to be able to have your own inner guidance system, because there's so much false information going out. It's your responsibility. We were talking about responsibility in my post yesterday. Your greatest responsibility is to show up for your soul's mission, right? Your greatest responsibility is not to pay your bills on time. It's not to show up at work on time, right? We've all been fucked up in our head about what our responsibility is. Your greatest responsibility is your soul's mission. And part of your soul's mission is to see through the illusion. It's hard when the illusion is constantly being pressed down on you. But because we're shifting into this air sign, I feel you guys are all going to be able to start having your little spidey senses and realizing what information is true to your body, right? True to your soul versus what you're always being told. And having said that, there's going to be lots of videos out today. There's going to be tons of memes. I'm sure like it's 10 something Pacific. So it's already in the afternoon on the Eastern side. I'm sure there's tons of memes telling you what to do today, but I want you to do what you want to do, because we talked about this when we were talking about the Lion's Gate, and you know, conspiracy woman over here. I just don't trust anything anymore, right? I want you to trust your inner self, because just like different missions have been infiltrated. I don't want to be negative by any means. So too has been the spiritual community has been infiltrated, telling us what they like their agenda, right? Whoever they are, there's like agendas all over the fucking place, right? But I want you to tap into your inner self, right? To your spirit guides, to yourself. And I want you to ask for whatever it is that you need, a download, an upload, you know, being grounded, bringing spirit in with water and air, breath, stretching, you know, oxygen, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do today, the next couple days, do it instead of following the masses, right? Even when it comes to spiritual stuff, you could be operating on someone else's intention. We talked about this. You need to set your intention. Don't be following everybody else's intention, because you could get into an intentional trap, and you could be adding to you know, the river. You could be adding to the current of someone else's mission, of someone else's thing. So spirit's there for you, right? You just ask for what it is that you need, ask for what it is that you feel like you need to do, and do it. So when it comes to technology too, this is why else I keep thinking back about Atlantis, right? So let's say what Pam is saying, because let's add what she's fucking saying. She says, oh fuck, you have no idea how exact your words are right now. See, because spirit freaking talks to me. Holy fuck, they showed me something today and used some exact words that you just used. Wow, spirit is so fucking awesome. Fuck yeah. See, I was like, you guys want to hear something funny? The vent to my heater or my air conditioner or whatever, the vent to my air system is up there. And so whenever I'm talking to you guys or whenever I'm on calls, I'm always like, spirit is up in the vent. I'm like, speak it out of the vent to me. But it's true. Spirit, like I sat down before this, right? Scott and Eddie's like, or Edie. My husband's like, is it Eddie or Edie? I'm like, I don't know. It's Scott. But yeah, I was on a rampage. But yeah, right before this, I was like, I know I want to say we're moving into air sign, but they keep talking about Atlantis, or at least that's popping in my head. Whereas we're coming back to that part, right? But what happened in Atlantis, if you think about it, they were really fucking spiritual. I say the F word a lot today. They were really spiritual. They were really good at communicating. They were amazing healers, right? How many of you guys have flown through some of my programs and come out like with these insane abilities, right? Some of you guys are throwing light bulbs at other people. Some of you guys have come through and have a whole new healing modality that channeled through Merlin. Like that was one of the most recent ones. Some of you guys are being told codes. It's so freaking cool, right? Well, where was I going? Oh, so this is Atlantis, right? These are the types of abilities that Atlanteans had. But what else happened? They also were really into technology. So I feel like this is all coming up. But Atlantis blew up, right? Because there were some leaders that were really greedy, and they were greedy for knowledge. And right now, there's leaders that are really greedy for your mind, for the power of your mind, right? Yeah. And Rosie Semi-Son was just talking about Atlantis, right? It's all coming up. It's all coming up because we're freaking intuitive. Did you open your phone and somebody told you this? No. Your son said it to you. No. Your spirit guides told it to you. Now you turned it on and I'm speaking it, right? So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the age of air, the age of information, the age of communication through the air, right? Nobody told you this. You've known it inside of your body. And that is the most important message to come out of this video for you today, is nobody told you, right? Back to where I was going. So in Atlantis, there were some leaders and they were really hungry for whatever it was. Well, so we have leaders too that are really hungry for your mind, that are really hungry for you to turn on, open your Facebook, and then believe what you see. And there's so many of you, especially in this community, that don't believe it because it doesn't feel right. Because it doesn't feel right. So this is what I want for you guys from now on, right? Because what happened in Atlantis, their leaders blew their shit up. So here we are back coming around. Let's not make that happen. But if it does, oh well, right? It's part of our evolution. And so that's the thing too. It's like, there's probably a lot of you guys out there that are scared. Don't be scared. You know, when all this crazy started happening, oh my gosh, I was like, Archangel Michael. I was like, we need to have a chat because I thought I was here for this monumentous time, which we are. I was like, but damn, I feel like I'm losing, you know? And then Michael was like, oh, hell no, you're not losing, right? You might feel that way. You may be tricked into that. But it's all about the law of attraction, and you're here as witness, right? So is everything going the way that you planned? Maybe not, but you're here as witness, and you're here as part of it. So know that no matter what it is that you witness with your little human eyeballs, that it's part of your mission, and it's going to be okay, right? Even if you transition and the world isn't the way that you wanted it to be, you can come back. You can come back and make it that way. But something else I was going to say about the big mission, technology, just a lot of things will be changing, the way we communicate. But that's pretty much it for you guys. So meditate, look at the stars, right? Go outside as much as you can right now and look to the southwest. Just look, stare at the stars, because there's supposed to be something, like we're supposed to be able to see planets that our government doesn't know exist, or that are trying to tell us don't exist, or some celestial event is supposed to show up in the sky. So go outside and look and take pictures and share the shit out of anything weird you see in the next 4 or 5 days in our community, because I want to see all your little light orbs, all your multi-dimensional beings, right? And those of you guys that are watching on YouTube, your spiritual awakening community is what I'm talking about. So if you guys want to come in there, become a member, and share what you guys are experiencing, what you're seeing, I would love that. See, Rosie says, I know I'm supposed to hear this because I picked up my phone and you piped on here. That's right. Well, here I am. So stay grounded. Make sure you have lots of spirit coming through you, right? Water, air, light, stretching, oxygen. Get it all through your meat suit, because we're hopping dimensions. That's what else I want to say really fast. We're hopping dimensions right now. So I was talking to a religious friend of mine last night. I'm finding more and more religious folks out there sharing like the same message coming out my mouth, just using their terminology, right? So freaking cool. I was messaging her last night and I was like, damn, there's more and more of you religious folks out there sharing the truth. She's like, because God's sending the truth, right? And I'm like, yeah, sister, I believe the God with a capital G. But what we were talking about is, so how many of you guys, you've heard of the rapture, right? I remember thinking, oh my God, the rapture, the end of the world, holy shit, scary as fuck, right? And then half the people disappear, right? Have you ever read the books Left Behind? Great series till the last book sucked. But the Left Behind series are hearing about the rapture. So me and the religious guy were chatting last night. Right now we're shifting dimensions. So it's not, I mean, I don't know what the future will hold a little bit, right? Holy Spirit lets me know. But the way I see it is like, instead of the rapture, it's an energetic rapture, if you will. And so there'll be a whole variety of a person that you'll never see in your life anymore. And they'll never see you in their life anymore, because you've hopped dimensions, because that vibration no longer serves you whatsoever. And we're talking about this with entrepreneurs too. You will never see this type of client and show up in your business, right? Because you're hopping dimensions. And that's a whole nother video about that my mastermind girls were talking with me about hopping dimensions too. And so maybe I'll jump on here tomorrow and share a little bit of information that you can actually go out and research and find different people remembering different histories, like totally remembering a whole different history than somebody else did. Interesting, isn't it? Doesn't it go deep? And this is why I love to be a spiritual awakening babe, because this shit goes deep, and then it goes deeper, and then it goes deeper. So you guys, I'm sending you all love. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. I don't know if I did that right. End stream. I was still talking.